Hey, Delaware. Welcome back to That Delaware Podcast. And on today's episode, we have two guests. Previously been on the podcast before. Ryan and Jake are back with us.
Hi.
I was going to say, are you going to say hi too, Jake?
Yeah.
So as always, this past weekend, what did everybody get into?
You know us, we did soccer. It was a great weekend of soccer. We finished up the winter season and my one daughter's team was undefeated and she was so proud. A great group of girls. So it was fun. You know, I'm in my soccer mom era.
You are. And you're
And loving it.
You're hardcore. Like, I wish I could be a fly. Well, not a fly on the wall in the field, obviously, because that's not possible. But to watch you on the sidelines.
Matt's always giving me the side eye, will you stop screaming? He's like, you're making them panic. And I'm like, I'm cheering.
Right.
I can't help that I'm loud, but I am not saying negative things. It's always go.
Okay.
Yeah. It gets them going.
Always go blue or go Delaware.
Yeah. I love that because I've been to games where I've seen parents on the sidelines and they are crazy and they're negative, and I want to go over there and be like, what is wrong with you? I'm stressed out and I'm not even your kid.
Yeah.
And the kids are 6 and 7 years old. It's like you're at the Eagles game.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. That's so wild to me.
No, I don't know enough about soccer to actually give any kind of advice. It would be absolutely wrong if I did. So I keep it to go blue, go white, go Delaware. Let's
love
go,
that.
girls.
Keep it neutral.
Defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. You're a good mom. So we also had our estate seminar this weekend where we invited everyone to come and speak with or listen to and then speak with an attorney, Paul O'Brien, local attorney here in Delaware, about estate planning, about trusts. And it's interesting because when I send the messages out to everybody inviting them, they're like, oh, I don't have kids, or, I don't currently own a home, or people think when it's, when you say an estate, I don't have an estate, some fancy thing.
Right.
But it really boils down to not just, owning a home and having assets, but also what happens when, you have health issues,
Right.
and who's taking care of that and who has access to your finances to help you. So it's always really, really good information. Excuse me, good information. And the people that come
Get so much out of it.
get so much out of it. They're like, oh my gosh, thank God I came to this. Cause I never would have known this otherwise. So that was a really good turnout. As far as people getting value, I wish more people would have attended, but it was a beautiful day. And so we had a lot of cancellations.
We did.
We are now, in that time of year where the weather is changing. I know I got super excited on Saturday when it was warm and the sun was shining. So I'm excited for April and
We're almost there.
May.
So just piggybacking off of what Amber said, if you are in our circle, we're going to invite you to things. We have multiple events. We don't have any pressure for you to come, but we want you to come and hang out with us. And we try to provide valuable events for people to go to.
It's valuable and we're fun. I mean,
We're a good time.
And there's
Right.
usually food.
There's
Exactly.
almost always food.
food. Yeah, we
Just come for the food.
we ordered from the Well
Obsessed.
in Hockessin. Sidetrack, I always like to
Squirrel.
sidetrack stuff, right? But speaking of that, we ordered a sub tray and I was like, I like chicken salad. So I ordered chicken salad as part of, the variety. People loved it.
Oh, yeah.
So
It was the first one to go.
Was that the salad you posted on your story
Is-
this past weekend?
it wasn't a salad. It was just
Salad.
Oh, sandwich.
it was a sandwich.
You posted a salad on your story. That looked good too.
That was
know
the
what that
Caesar
was.
salad.
We ordered Caesar to go with,
That
which was also a whole conversation. We were like, should we get a garden salad or a Caesar salad?
Yeah, no, Caesar is a good.
That's what we went with.
And we talked to our people about that too, right? We're like, we didn't know, should we get Caesar or garden? And everybody agreed Caesar. So to anybody out there planning an event, add chicken salad to the sub tray.
Yes.
And get the Caesar salad because that's what the people want.
It was a hit.
It was a hit. It was a hit. Yeah.
I went there once a week when I was pregnant with my
Yeah.
and had a sub. Like it was like my
What
thing.
what kind of sub?
They have an old school Italian. That was my thing. I know you're not supposed to like eat lunch meat when you're pregnant, but
I
like,
totally did.
that was literally my thing. And like then I
Fashions
don't
of a
know.
mother.
This is so random. Midway pregnancy, I like really loved chocolate milkshakes, and the guy had known me from being there every week. And one day he just brought the milkshake over, and I sobbed like a baby. I was like,
The hormones are
like actual tears. I was like, wow.
You're like, you really care
I
about
was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was
See?
left the well.
I love the well too.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're good people. They're like really well connected into the community. They do a lot for the community. So if you have the opportunity to go and eat at the well or get some takeout, highly recommend.
And they're in Hocassin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So what are we getting into today, guys? I'm excited about this one.
Today we are, I don't know like the right way to even phrase it. We're talking about advice that we would give to ourselves in our 20s. Now, not all of us are out of our 20s, which I feel like is going to make it a way more dynamic conversation. Sometimes I'm like, am I even qualified to be giving advice to like, my younger self? But do you guys have any like things that pop into your head as like advice that you would have given yourself in your 20s?
To it.
So just to say, like, I've been thinking about this because I knew we were going to talk about this, and I'm spiraling. Like, I'm just like thinking about all the things, and I'm like, what I go back to is like, you know, I would say, don't do this, but then I feel like not doing that would not get me to where I was.
Right.
So it's like, do I not want to do that? So just to kind of start this off, like, you're going to make mistakes, right? You're going to do things, but I think the part of your 20s is doing those things, right? Making those mistakes to kind of find out who you are and what really is important to you. And it's that time to like be fearless because you typically can recover. Like, don't go doing anything really crazy.
Yeah, don't go to
The mom and her can't help
The
not
mom and
say
me,
that.
yeah. Like, don't do anything too crazy, honey. But you be fearless, be confident in yourself, and really like dive in. Because those mistakes and things that you go through are going to help you become who you are.
shape you.
They're going to shape you for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So, I mean, I have some things to say, but I just wanted to start that off by saying I was spiraling. But go ahead. What's everybody else got to say?
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you, especially if you always had in the back of your mind that you wanted to start like your own thing when it comes to making money, business, side hustle. There's definitely no better time than in your 20s because most people don't have kids then. You don't
Right.
have the family. So exactly going off of what you said, like that is the time to make your mistakes. I know a lot of kids being a millennial and I guess the Gen Zs now are like staying and living with their parents until they're 25. I mean, you're not with your parents anymore. But I feel like the majority is, which is like take advantage of that. Like you don't have many of the bills, and like if you want to go out and start your own thing and start your own business, like that is the time to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's kind of just piggybacking off what you said.
I agree.
I agree too, and I'm so glad you brought that up because that one didn't even cross my mind when I was thinking about it. But I got into real estate in my early 20s, and it was a bad time in the market, but it was like I at least had that cushion because I didn't have kids. I didn't have as many serious responsibilities that would have forced me potentially into a 9-to-5 job. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Good point.
it's the common theme. Like I just remember always wanting to grow up and be an adult and be on my own. And it's like, here I am. Part of me feels like I rushed it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like what's going on? But I don't regret any of it, right? You know, I look at my mortgage payment. I'm like, I really don't like you, but like, look what I have. So I definitely think, especially like entering my 20s on the team, like you all helped me a lot kind of navigate, you know, I was a hot mess. Like, what do I want to do with my life? You know, do I want to go
substitute teaching?
Yeah. I was substitute teaching. I was trying to see if that was it. I'm like, do I, you know, be a teacher or do I really go forth with like this whole new construction thing? And really it just, do what feels right.
Yeah.
You just have to go for it. And I know like now if I didn't, like I have to look and see like where I would be, you know, I'd be a senior in college and I, you know, would not be a homeowner and I would not be doing what I'd really want to do. I would be living for someone else. Like my mom's big thing was like, you got to go and be a teacher and work up and be a principal and like work up the education ladder. And like, that's not what I saw for myself. So, you know, definitely do what feels right. Advice from everybody, you know, take it, you know, chew it up, digest it, figure it out, you know, but you just got to go with what feels right.
Yeah.
And I would say, you know, mortgage payment aside, like I feel like I did what I wanted to do, what felt right for me, and I'm living my best life. So, you know,
I love that.
I love that too. And you also, I think, you know, you can think about like, oh, you know, did I miss out on that? But you can still kind of live your 20s.
Yeah.
But you're established now, and that's who you are, right? Like you're very structured, you're responsible. You kind of followed that, like you said, like you took advice, you chewed it up, you ate it, and some of you spit back out, right?
Yeah.
But I love that you ultimately made the decision that was best for you. And I think it was a great decision. And, you know, I remember being in my 20s and purchasing a home and looking at, you know, my mortgage payment and my bills, but also like thinking, wow, it's mine. And I feel good about it. You know, like I could be totally broke, but like I have this.
Yeah. And then, I mean, again, like home ownership, like I look at what places are going for rent. It's the same as my mortgage payment.
Right.
And that's not going
It's
up.
not, my mortgage payment is not going to go up.
Yeah.
You know?
Fixed payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So how old are you?
22.
That's wild.
Gosh.
But there's
That is
I
really
feel like
cool.
the
I can't
majority
believe,
of
like-
20-year-olds just like
Yeah, like you own a home at 22. That's amazing.
I'm the anomaly. Like I'd like,
22-year-old
You
yeah.
are the exception.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah. Okay, not me.
Yeah.
But we have old souls, I feel like.
Yes, that plays a big part too.
True. Yeah. I feel like I had an old soul too. But I still did the partying. I still ended up traveling. And I feel like, you know, I kind of not totally like got that out of my system. I still want to travel and I still want to do things. But I think you have to like find a balance. But my thing is always like, I don't ever want to have that feeling of regret. 'Cause to me, regret is like the worst feeling and it just sits in the pit of your stomach. And yeah, so you just have to really do so. Yeah, I think 20s are like soul searching. I mean, I feel like I'm in my 40s now and I feel like I'm still soul searching. So, you know, the other thing is you're never going to like figure it out and you're still going to make mistakes.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's the thing too. I'm always like, I have to have it figured out. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Like there are things that have to be figured out, but everything else just go with the flow.
Yeah. Life is short. What do you guys think?
That was like my thing that I was going to take, like add just kind of like living with regret and like life is super short. I kind of regret not spending more time like with my dad or just like, cause he passed away like too young. And I'm like, I just wish I took more time to kind of, I don't know, work on and spend time with people that I really cared about.
Yeah.
Because you never know. I know that's like
point.
super cliche, but
It's
it really
it's-
is so
it's
true.
so
Like
true.
you never know. So just like, you know, go out with your friends and, you know, make time for your family and
Yeah.
just super important. Like when you're young, you want to like go out and, you know, party or whatever.
yeah.
Definitely did my fair share of that too, but just wish I had spent more time, you know,
Yeah.
with the people I care about, just more like genuinely.
Yeah. I agree. I was thinking about that too. Agreed. Yeah.
I think what I would tell myself in my 20s, work out more. I didn't start my journey in fitness until I was about 27. But if I would have known it was going to be the best outlet that I had, then I would have started way earlier. Like a lot of people that are in the fitness community, they don't even do it for weight loss. They do it for like mental. And like, it's just like, it really is the outlet. It really does help me manage, you know, challenges a lot easier if I have a clear head and a lot of the mistakes that I did make, although I'm glad that I made them, I probably could have shortened that list quite a bit had I had a good outlet like fitness. But I think that might be it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
And you're so dedicated to it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's an inspiration. I see your
It is an
videos. I'm like,
inspiration.
she's awake and at the gym. I'm impressed.
4:00 in the morning is definitely
Early.
It's definitely early, but I do go to bed at like 8:30. So if anyone texts me after 8:00, I'm probably not going to answer. Not till like 5 the next morning, maybe.
Yeah.
That's like the best time of the day to do it. Then you have like your whole day in front of you and you feel so much better. Yeah.
It sets the
is that.
tone.
Yeah.
You have so much more energy, and people think, 4 a.m. is early, but really once you, do that for a while, you do have more energy like throughout the day. And it really does help. Some people do it after work too, or like, 5, 6 o'clock. You do get that second win, and that's good too. But starting my day off at 5 a.m. at the gym definitely helps.
So I love that. I wish I could do that. I've done it before, and I know how amazing it is. Like starting your day and getting that out of your way, and you just feel good. You feel energized.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't do it though when the kids were younger. It's much harder when you have small kids. You guys have small kids, so when you have to get up in the morning and get them ready, that's extremely difficult. But mine are old enough now. I get up before they do. I can sneak out for an hour, come back. They're up getting ready, and then we go. So it's much easier when the kids are older, for sure.
Yeah.
I think like piggybacking off of that too, just like taking care of yourself in general, like super important. Again, like in my 20s, that wasn't really my priority. Like
Heck no.
yeah,
We ate
so I-
crap. Like
Right.
7-Eleven hot dogs at like 2 in the morning with chili cheese. Like that was my thing.
yeah, I think just like prioritizing like yourself and not always worrying about pleasing everyone else is something I was guilty of. So
I think also it's just like comparing yourself to other people and comparing your chapter 1 on somebody's chapter 10 or chapter 20.
yeah,
It's like a learning lesson that you don't know where they started, and you can't compare yourself to where they are now. Everybody has chapters that they don't read out loud, and what you see on social media is just the best version of their life. And sometimes keeping things private is better.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be online.
That's a good point. Like I can't imagine my like early 20s, like my life being put out on social media, or just like social media in general. I remember like social media was kind of just starting when I was in my early 20s with like MySpace and all of that.
Do you remember what song you had on there?
Nelly Furtado was one of them, and Journey.
I had Chingy.
Don't Stop Believing.
I had Chingy on my MySpace.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
that is a good one.
Do you have One Call Away, or which one?
Shoot, which one was it? No, it'll come back to me.
We'll circle back.
Yeah, I'll get back to you. I can like hear it. No, it was like that song that's like, I like that song.
You're gonna have to keep going.
Keep going.
No, I don't know. No,
going.
I'm not singing anymore. I'll play it for you guys after.
Insert song, Brian.
Insert the clip here.
But I think that's tough for people. And again, like not even just people in their 20s. It's tough for us in our 30s, in our 40s, like even people in their 60s. I talk to, and they're like, all the stuff on social media, and people are always like shoulding you, right? Like you should do this, you should do that, or you just get in your head watching everybody's highlight reel. But yeah, that can be difficult, and I can't imagine going through that in my 20s the way it is now. But also on that note, like people in your 20s, like you have so much information at your fingertips.
It's unreal.
You can do anything. Like anything is possible. So utilize that. Like that's, on the other side of that, like to have all of that at our fingertips at that age would have been really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with YouTube mentorship programs that are so accessible
Exactly.
to learning from people that already built like businesses or whatever it is that you want to do, and following them, and especially like ChatGPT. Like you could literally have that thing teach you anything that you want, give you the whole business plan, and like you can make money. However, like it's insane.
Yeah.
The amount of information that's out there and the possibilities right now, opportunities.
Yeah, I don't have to pay for therapy anymore because of ChatGPT. Like whenever there's something, I'm like, hey, tell me what you think about this. And it just feeds into my delusions. And
What did you do the where you can like talk to it and have a conversation?
I did that, and I'm like, this is really dangerous. I need to stop because I will get attached. You can change the voice so you can make it sound like
What?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
$19.99 a month. You can talk, and they talk to you just like a normal. It's not a robot. You would think that you're talking to.
But it's not a.
It's like it sounds like a normal
Not a
voice.
person. No.
No.
But I do think it records you, because I was doing it one time and like I stopped it and like my voice was still playing. So I'm like, all right, we're done with that. Like, I don't want my secrets.
That's the part of it like that scares me. It's like, I don't want you using my questions against me.
That's a scary part about AI for sure.
Yeah. But circling back to like therapy, I will say that therapy was great for me. When I was I don't know, I think I was in my 30s when I got into therapy. And that was really good just to have like that third party. Now I will say, like, you have to really find the right person. Also utilize your friends and your family, right, to talk things out. But I think that people do need to talk about things. But therapy is great if you find the right person.
Especially guys too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you only hear about like the women going to therapy, but
I love that, Ryan.
yeah. So I started going to therapy this past year, and it's been awesome. Something I wish I started sooner.
Yeah. And I think there's such a stigma about that, like therapy, mental health. And there's a lot of pressures for people in their 20s because they feel like they should have their shit together, right? Because like I'm in my 20s now, but
I'm an adult. I should have it. Yeah.
Right. But being in like 41, I'm like, man, that was so long ago, and like it's okay.
Right.
Like that's the decade that you should be like figuring yourself out and making the mistake.
And
Really
taking
have
the
your
risk.
shit together.
No.
Like
Right.
I don't.
That's the thing.
No, and that's a lie.
It's always just like something different.
You'll never ever have your.
And that's the thing. Like with some things, I honestly feel like I took a step backwards and have my shit less together, right? Because
I feel that.
becoming like being in real estate, like there's so many things going through my mind, so many people that I need to be taken care of, so many things that I need to organize. I'm also a parent, and you know, that is a huge weight on my mind, is like, what's going on with my daughter? What does she need from me? You know, I'm my fiance, like what, you know, am I being a good partner? All of these things going through my mind. So it's like, I do feel very much more I don't know, just like a little bit messier than I was in my 20s. And then all of that stuff fills my space, where when I was in my 20s, honestly, like listening to you talk about like health and all of that, I was healthier in my 20s. I ate better. I worked out more. Like now I just have all of these things that consume
More responsibilities.
more responsibilities, and I just constantly put myself last. So this is a pep talk for me as well, not just people in their 20s.
No, same, Amber. Same.
Yeah, I feel much more stressed out and have a cluttered mind.
And like somebody told me, like in terms of like figuring it out, like me, 22, it's my first time being 22. Just as someone who just turned 55, that's their first time being
So
55.
good.
So
Yeah.
like we're all doing it at different paces. So just
Jake, that
live a little.
Everyone's journey is different.
absolutely, yeah. But that, like saying it's your first time being 22, and speaking of therapy, like I've listened to also some podcast where, you know, people talk about, you know, things regarding therapy, but it is everybody's first time. Just like it's my first time being a mom. It's your first
Exactly.
time being a mom. But not only just being a mom, but it's our first time being a mom of a 6-year-old, of a 11-year-old. And then so that goes back to like, you know, our shit with our parents, right? Because we, no matter what childhood or, you know, upbringing you had, you have stuff with your parents, right?
Right.
But what I never thought about until somebody said this was exactly what you said. It was like, you look at them like they're an adult and they should have it together. It's their first time being a parent. And they're dealing with the stuff that they had when they were young.
And once you understand that, I think you can
give them grace.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. Now this is the therapy session.
But Jake, one thing that I think that really benefited you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but was definitely like joining this team at such a young age and placing yourself, and this kind of is like leading into what I'm gonna say, is just placing yourself around those right people that are like gonna make a positive impact in your life.
Amen.
Because I truly think that the people that you placed yourself around, which is the whole Rosaio team, has really led you to like where you are today at such a young age, which you're kind of like way past where I was at 22. I mean, most people.
Which is something to be really proud of.
For sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
But you're right, Ryan. Like, that honestly is everything. The people that you surround yourself with are going to shape who you are. I mean, that's your constant influence.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's okay to keep your circle small.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like something you definitely learn growing up, when you grow up more, like keeping the people close to you that are.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And getting rid of people that aren't.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the
That's
thing.
a harder thing to
Getting
do.
rid of toxic
Absolutely.
situations.
If you're doing the same thing right now that you were doing 10 years ago and you're still not happy with your life, those circle of friends are not your friends. You're not in a group. You're in a cage and you need to get out. And that's what I always try to tell people. If you're not happy with yourself, you have to figure out the people that you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah.
Are they good for you?
And I think it's important to say that is blood related people as well. I think that's really hard for people to disassociate with or disconnect with people that are your family.
Right.
But you can love people from afar, right? Like you don't have to associate with them, all the time or
Just
be
because
involved
you're
in
related.
certain things because you're related.
Right.
And that is really hard for people. That was hard for me with some people, but I just, need to be like, I love you and I want the best for you, but we're not going to be involved in XYZ.
Yeah. We don't talk about it enough, but that's really key. Like even if they're your family members, if they're no good for you, it's okay to say goodbye.
Yeah. And it's okay to like love them from afar and root for them from afar. At the end of the day, we're human beings. We are evolving. It's what we're supposed to do. We're trying to figure it out. Just surround yourself with good people. Wear sunscreen. That's one of the things.
Such a mom. Such a mom.
Seriously, wear sunscreen.
I agree.
I wish I did more when I was in my...
Oh my gosh. We used to do the baby oil.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Wear sunscreen. I wear sunscreen now. I have like spots. I have melasma. Like, yes.
I was raised on the wear sunscreen mom before it was a thing.
Okay.
So I thank you, mom.
Yeah. And moisturize. Moisturize.
Start your skincare young.
Yeah.
They are starting young. All the kids, like my daughter has this TikTok, like a whole skincare regimen. I'm like, you have more cleansers than me. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
Maybe not that young.
It is starting young. My daughter is 6.
see that.
She's like, I'm going to do skincare, mommy. And it's just basically her like washing her face. And I'll let her use my moisturizer, which is not anything expensive or.
Yeah, 12-year-olds do not need $80 drunk elephants.
No.
Like,
That's the
no.
thing. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
trendy
insane.
stuff, but it's really not good for their skin.
They don't need it yet.
Yeah.
Just like a normal, if they want to put moisturizer on, a normal, regular.
CeraVe is good. I like. That's how you pronounce it.
Exactly.
CeraVe.
Or CeraVe, whatever. Anyway.
Aveeno is good too.
Yeah. The OG stuff, the St. Ives scrub.
I don't know. We always go off the rails.
What I don't like though is the Jergens, the cherry almond. Has anyone ever used that?
I love that. I used it for
can't.
years.
I just
Not on my face, just my body.
I just can't. Something about it just makes me nauseous.
Really?
Smell.
The
It's like a
smell?
cherry almond Jergens.
I love the smell.
I just can't do it.
Go sniff it. Tell us what you think.
Yes, please tell us what you think.
Yeah. What do you guys think? What are your tactical tips, guys?
Are we still Are we talking about face?
Whatever.
About skincare?
Or are we talking
Cetaphil's
about
a good one.
Definitely also get you some antibacterial Dove soap. Clean your body. You stink.
Yeah.
I started using what is it? It's some powder that is like a exfoliator, but like you turn it on, it's like a pasty soap. That has worked like really well for me. Well, I can't.
Yeah, who makes
I know like some. It's in
This
blue
is not
bottle.
a skincare podcast.
Yeah.
Comes
I can't
with
remember.
aging.
Yeah, no. I wish I invested in my skin way earlier.
Same.
Well, like,
Well, I say that because like I at like 26 started wearing moisturizer, and now that I'm 41, I'm like seeing like the change in my skin, and I'm like it could be a lot worse. I see people that are my age that I went to school with, and I'm like, no offense, but I'm like some of them look older, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like lathering. Yeah. So I mean, look. Age is a beautiful thing, and each year on my birthday I get very emotional about being blessed to have another year. I want to be the old biddy with the big gray hair at the diner with my friends, okay?
She will be.
And I will be. And I aspire to be Mrs. Claus.
Yes.
Okay?
You
when that
will
time
be,
comes.
like,
I can totally picture that
should
for
be
sure.
that soon.
That'll be.
But yeah.
You and Chris should totally do that.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
You
He's
should do
got
it this
the, like,
year.
kind eyes with
In
the,
December.
Yeah.
This season.
Babe, you're going to be Santa and I'm going to be Mrs. Claus.
I'll be the elf.
Yes. Let's do
More to
it.
come.
And how did we get here?
On that note, thank you so much for listening. That is another episode of That Delaware Podcast. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of That Delaware Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at That Delaware Podcast and our team page at Rosaio Team _real estate. And of course, if you have any real estate or Delaware questions, feel free to reach out.